Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today we're going to be looking at Smokey Bear playing cards from Art of Play. This deck was produced in association with the USDA Forest Service and pays an homage to Smokey Bear, the mascot of the Forest Service and a true advertising legend. Smokey has been, since the 1940s, preaching this message of helping to prevent forest fires, talking to people about putting out their campfires and taking other practical steps to make sure that they don't cause these forest fires that can do such devastation, not just to natural habitats, but to humans as well when they continue to spread. Now, he's been doing this, like I said, since the 1940s, which makes him the longest running public service campaign in American advertising history. So important not just for the Forest Service, but in advertising in general. So excited to see how this comes to life in this nostalgic deck. All right, starting with the tuck case. Art of Play always does a great job with their letterpress tuck cases, and this one's no exception. I believe it's done by Clove Street Press. That's where Art of Play does a lot of their tuck cases, and it features a full color scene against this matte, sort of beige or dingy colored cardstock. It gives it a real vintage feel to it overall, and then you have these sort of muted tones that are applied to form this full scene on the front. You've got the wilderness image with the mountains in the back, the river, and then Smokey standing in the foreground holding his shovel, wearing his trademark hat, and then standing next to the sign that proclaims the name of the deck. I love the color application on this one. It kind of reminds me of the look that you get from like those vintage silkscreen posters. Really great look to it overall. As you turn to the sides, you got Smokey Bear playing cards on one side, and then his tagline, "Only you can prevent wildfires," on the other. This was actually only been his tagline since 2001. Before that, it was really similar. It was just, "Only you can prevent forest fires." That's the one that I remember from growing up. But with wildfires becoming so much more prevalent, sort of changed the slogan at that time. So there's the other side. Bottom has your ad copy for Art of Play and SmokeyBear.com. And then the top just says established 1944. That's when Smokey Bear was created. The back here doesn't have the back design of the cards. It just has a picture of the back design of the cards, but it has a lot of copy on it too, kind of making this feel a little bit like a souvenir deck, which, given the subject matter, I think it's kind of fitting. It makes it feel like something you would find in a gift shop at a national park or something like that. It's kind of cool. As you open it up, nothing printed on the inner flaps or the interior of the tuck case, and that completes it. That's the nice retro feeling tuck case. Very nicely done. This one looked great on any shelf, in my opinion. All right, now turning to the cards themselves, and here's the back design. Now, it is a really strong one-way back design because of that emblem in the center with Smokey's face, and then protect our forests, prevent wildfires around it. I prefer a two-way back design in general, but again, given that this is sort of a retro nostalgic deck, something feels right about putting that emblem sort of front and center and not turning it into a two-way back design. Now that's surrounded by a bunch of branches with pine needles stretching out to all four corners with that nice forest green ink, and then finishes out in a nice thin poker border. And the background here is not true white. It's more of a dingy grayish color, I would call it. Again, kind of gives it that older feel to the deck overall. So there is the back design. You get a couple of jokers. They're very similar, identical, or very simple, identical jokers. They just say Joker, Joker in the corners in nice small font, and then feature an image of a lone pine tree sitting in the middle. Now, both of them are the same. Nice simple image. I like the simplicity of it quite a bit. All right, you get a couple of ad cards. First one here features same image from the front of the tuck case, just done in slightly brighter colors. And then on the back tells you a little bit of the story of Smokey Bear and his significance to helping prevent wildfires over the years. And then you also get an Art of Play ad card. Talks a little bit about Art of Play, and very fittingly features some text mentioning that the cards they produce are made from paper from sustainable forests and printed with environmentally friendly vegetable-based ink. Given the nature-loving mission of Smokey Bear in general. Nice fitting that they put that message a little bit more front and center. Now the aces in the deck, the ace of spades is definitely the power ace of the bunch. Features a spade pip with Smokey there right in the center and pointing right at you, much like you would do as he's saying his tagline that you can see down here at the bottom, only you can prevent wildfires. There's Smokey, pretty standard pip and index in the corner. The other three aces, nothing too special on those, just standard aces against that sort of grayer background. So those are your aces. Interestingly, the twos feature something a little bit different on here. Feature some little wildfire prevention advice on them. You can imagine Smokey giving this advice, so a nice big red text here on the two of spades. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. And then on the two of diamonds, always be careful with fire. Two of clubs, Smokey's friends don't play with matches. And on the two of hearts, advice on how to put out a campfire. Drown, stir, drown, and feel as cold. So basically reminding you, make sure you completely drown out a fire and don't leave it unless it's completely cool to the touch. A nice little touch there to put some of Smokey's messages front and center. Now the rest of the number cards don't feature those same little tidbits of advice. Those are only on the twos. The rest of these are all pretty much standard. Slightly custom pips, but not very custom at all. Blacks are black, reds are red. Orientations are what you're used to if you've picked up any bicycle decks or anything like that. So nothing out of the ordinary to really talk about here. So that's the number cards. And then you get to the quartz, and they're all custom, but done very, very simply. Each one of these is going to feature just one piece of wildlife that you might find in the forest. So here on the spades, you've got the blue jay on the jack of spades, the owl on the queen, and the king is the bald eagle. Nice bright colors on them, nice vintage look. I like how understated it is though to just have that one animal in the center with nothing else really. So there's your spades, and then into your diamonds, you've got the raccoon, rabbit, and wolf. I like the touch of making all three animals on the same suit kind of have a similar color to them. So all three of these are gray in color. As you go to the clubs, now we've got a squirrel, a bobcat, and a deer. This is the three, and all kind of in that brownish gold color. And then nice bold red on the heart animals. We've got a fox, I believe that's a beaver in the center, and a bison on the king of hearts. A fun set of animals featured on the quartz. Now, as far as the cards themselves, they're all done on crushed stock from USPCC, so they're gonna fan and handle really, really nicely. No complaints at all on that. That air cushion finish always handles really well. So they're going to be great for handling no matter what you want to use these for. And that gets into what would I use the deck for? Well, for me, I think it's probably a gameplay deck more than anything. I think this is going to bring back memories to anybody, even non-collectors who pull this deck out. Anybody who's seen Smokey before, and that's pretty much all of us at some point, you're gonna just remember those moments when they use this deck. And I think it's just a great suitable deck for gameplay. You could certainly use it for other things. It handles well enough for cardistry. It probably serves okay for Magic, and certainly that tuck case looks great on any shelf. So great deck for a collector as well. So nice functional deck, but I think one that you should open up, use for gameplay, have some fun with it. So that's it. That is the look at Smokey Bear playing cards from Art of Play. I'll put a link down in the description where you can go check these out and pick one up for yourself if you're interested. Hey, make sure to subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll see you for the next one.